Tejo vari mrita meta vinimayo yatra trisargo amrisa. Bhavna svena sada nirasta koham satyam param dhimahi. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukad amradam dhruva samyuktam. Bibata Baghavatham rasamalaya muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Narayanam namaskritya naram shaiva narotamam. Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam vidhirayet. Vasudheve bhagavati bhakti yoga prayojitaha. Janayatu asi vairagyam jnanam shayat ahaitukam. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavatas sevaya. Bhavati uttama sloke bhakti bhavati na ishtaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranava Dukkha Shamanam Tam Namami Harim Param. This very last sloka I just recited. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Samanas Tam Namami Harim Param is the very last sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are in the very last canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, and we are in the very last canto, which is the climax. It's a climax canto because this is where King Parikshit leaves his body. So the story comes to an end. This is a short canto, only 13 chapters are there. And starting with how Kali is progressing, and this was spoken many years back, therefore to Parikshit Maharaj. So Shukadeva Goswami is explaining about who are the kings going to come now, by whom Kali is going to take over, because the kings are considered to be the head of the society. If the rulers are not proper, the rulers are not spiritual, religious, dharmic, then everyone underneath the king's rule also going to be the same. Nothing is going to be proper. Therefore, the first thing that got affected over here was the kings. The kings slowly, they degraded. All the kings. They started not living for the society, but for the selfish reason. That started happening. And in this first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, he gives many names. Sukadeva Goswami gives many names of those who yet to come. So this first 2-3 chapters is all about the future. What's going to come has been already told many years back. You can also find names of Ashoka, King Ashoka, and many other names. We're not going to go all the details of the kings and all those things. But that's what has been the first chapter, has been spent thoroughly on who are the kings going to come and how the Kali will progress more and the kings will do a lot of things, which is not a thing. And later, the king will go away and then it will become the country of, what is it called? The freedom, where the president and prime minister will be elected by the citizens of that country. And how that happens, that is also going to be explained. On what basis people get elected, how they become a president, prime ministers, or the chief minister, all those things. What is the reason? How do they become? So that will be discussed in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam in this chapter, symptoms of Kali Yuga. It was a quite very interesting, elaborate. Also, it may sound, though it may sound interesting, we can relate it very well. It's already started. Many of the things what's been told here by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, it's already started happening. We can see that. We can see it. And we can imagine how it will be later also. So that's the second chapter. And the third chapter, where the Bhumi, Mother Earth, starts speaking. And that's called Bhumi Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi Gita, Uddhava Gita. Like that, Bhumi Gita. Very few slokas are there. How this Gita is quite interesting Gita because she laughs at the people of the earth, how crazy they are. That's her Gita. And then the fourth chapter is going to be about the 4 types of annihilation. pralaya. What are the 4 types of pralaya that happens? And he goes into that detail. And the 5th chapter is about the final instruction that's going to be given by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Very final instruction that's going to be given. And the 6th chapter is where Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing the instruction, then he leaves the body. Takshaka comes, bites Parikshit Maharaj, he leaves the body. And there ends the story thing, and then goes on the glories of the Puranic literature, this Puranic literature. And there's one additional thing comes on Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi story is there at the end of this one, where he wants to see the illusory energy of the Lord, how the creation happens, how because the Pralaya has been told. Now connection is one Rishi called Markandeya Rishi. He wants to see how Pralaya happens. What a weird choice or wishes. Yeah. So he wants to see how the Pralaya happens. That's all discussed in few chapters. And then at the end, it's going to be, the chapter is going to conclude with the glorification, summary of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. At the end, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is the structure and outline of what we are going to cover in this 13 chapters in coming weeks. Now, I'll just read few to cover the first chapter. I'll just tell a few names of the kings that's been discussed or told here. The future kings of dynasty of Magadha, and who they became degraded because of the influence of the age of Kali. There were 20 kings who ruled in the family of Puru, in the dynasty of the sun god, counting Uparicharavasu. Uparicharavasu was a great devotee, by the way. In Bhagavad Gita, we discussed the story also. Uparicharavasu. And Puranjaya. After Puranjaya, the lineage of his dynasty will become corrupted. Following the Puranjaya, there will be 5 kings known as, by the way, the kings' names that we are going to read here. From this, you can understand it is not only concentrated on India. These kings are spread out now, right? And by the names, we can understand that different countries were also at one point of time all part of one kingdom as Bharatavarsha, Bharata Bhumi, right? One king, but it's all spread over everywhere. Mauryas, the Sungas, Kanvas, the 30 kings of Andhra Desha, 7 Abhiras, 10 Gardabis, 16 Kankas, Yavanas, 14 Taruskas, 10 Gurandas, and Maulas, Kilakila, and 13 Bhalikas. So many commentaries have been given on these things of who they are. They are from Turkey and Afghanistan and and the Middle East, and different places have been mentioned over here, right? So those are the things. And what the final message of this chapter is, finally, who's ruling the countries will be Melichas. Melichas means they are not real Kshatriyas. They are low-born ones, lower than the Shudras. They become the kings. They started ruling. When they start ruling, then we can understand it's not going to be based on religion. It's going to be irreligious. Because they are not into religion. They are not going to believe in Vedas. They are not going to follow any dharmas, yaga, yagya, nothing. Therefore, it's going to be irreligious things. After saying this one, the second chapter starts. Second chapter is the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Symptoms of Kali Yuga. The first sloka, Tataschano Dinam Dharmaha. This is spoken by Sri Sukadev. Sri Suka Vacha. Tataschano Dinam Dharmaha. Satyam Saucham Kshamadhaya. Khanela Bhalina Rajan Nangshyati Ayur Balam Smritihi. He says, O king, Sukadev Goswami is talking to Parikshit Maharaj. O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the power of influence of the age of Kali. So naturally, we forget things is because of influence of the Kali. Second thing is because we are born in Kali. The third reason why we are born in Kali because of our karma. Otherwise, we wouldn't have born. So it all works together. This chapter that we are going to focus today, 2 chapters, as much as we can go, sounds scary. Means practical messages, but then the reason that Sukadeva Goswami talks about these things is later Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask, Tell me about the symptoms of various yugas. In Satya Yuga, how things were. In Trayata Yuga, in Krita Yuga, in Dwapara Yuga, and then in Kali Yuga. How the symptoms are. What are the symptoms? How it's. And then he's going to tell everything, how it's degrading. And then Kali Yuga, how bad it is. It's worst. And that's not the only reason why he wants to say how worst it is, because this entire 12th canto can be taken as glorification of chanting. In Kali Yuga, there's no other means. That's how the chapter is going to end. There's no other means. Whatever we try to do, there'll be false. You're trying to do yajna, the priest may not pronounce mantras properly. Even if mantras chanted properly, the yajna ingredients may not be clean. The place may not be clean. There's always something or the other not right in whatever we are trying to do, in pujas, yajnas. And the money that we are trying to donate, how sure we are that the money that we earn is the right source of income. We may tell, well, I'm doing, but where the money is coming from, we don't know. So everything is contaminated over here. Everything is contaminated. Whatever we do, there's a problem here. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami is going to say that, therefore, in Kali Yuga, the best thing is that we have to do is, there's no rules and regulation. There's nothing. There's simply chant the name of God. There's nothing need to be one, doesn't need to be clean also. Chanting name of the God doesn't need to be, there's no any conditions at all. But for chanting mantras, it starts with Om, one has to be clean. One cannot chant Om just getting out of the bed and chant Om like that. So, unfortunately, people do those things, but it's not. Mantras cannot be chanted like that. It has to be properly, internally, externally, one has to cleanse and then start chanting mantra, pranava. One has to sandhya, one has to do achmanam, cleanse oneself, or then you have to sit and chant Om mantra. But Hare Krishna mantra or any name of the Lord doesn't require anything. In bathroom, you don't need to start singing bathroom. That is not good. Mentally, you can always, in mind, you can always chant in mind. That's always allowed. So therefore, he starts with saying this is what we are going to see as Kali progresses. There won't be truthfulness, there won't be cleanliness, there won't be tolerance, there won't be mercy. Nothing will be there, and people's strength will be gone, memory will be gone. People will not live longer, by the way. Vittam eva kalo. Every sloka is so beautiful. We have to take some time to go through this chapter and the next chapter. Little patience. So we understand and appreciate it. Vittam eva kalo nrina janmachara gunodhayaha dharma nyaya vyavasthayam karanam bhalamevahi. In Kali Yuga, now it gives a reason. Now it tells in Kali Yuga, what are the signs of success in Kali Yuga? Okay. Wealth alone will be considered the sign of man's good birth. Wealth, proper behavior and fine qualities are not all those based on one's wealth. If he's a rich man, then he's a great person. He's a great person. He has all good qualities. His behavior is good. He's one. We can tell all sort of things. That's what it means. Vittam. Vittam means money, wealth. Eva kalo nrinam. Nrinam means human. Janma achara gunodaya. His guna, his janma, his character, everything is based on money alone. And law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power. Not on justice. What is right as what is wrong. If you have power, then you can make it happen. And we know these things are happening everywhere. Just power is enough. If you have Dampatya, then goes to the third sloka. Dampatya abhiruchir hetu mayaiva vyaharike stritve pumstve chahi ratir vipratve sutram ivahi. Men and women will live together merely because of superficial attraction. Right? There's no need of any sort of commitment. And we know very well. Right? Nowadays, people doesn't want to get married and commit. Right? It's a problem. Why even get married and sign contract and have to say too much expenses? Who knows how long this marriage is going to stay? So better we just both of us will live together. Huh? As long as we are happy, we'll live together. If you don't like, you just say bye and go. I will go if I don't like. One fine day. So how true these things are. Men and women will live together merely because of superficial. I like you, you like me. There is no marriage. There is no nothing. Just live together. And then success in business. How can you become successful in business? Deceit. You have to just simply cheat business. Prabhupada himself says business means cheating.
We do that.
Every field has those things. Everyone. Success means we have to deceit, we have to cheat, and womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex. And a man will be known as a Brahmana. How a person is considered to be a Brahmana? Just one factor. You just have to wear a thread. If he's wearing a thread, sacred thread, that means he's Brahmana. Only by thread he is Brahmana. But what all a Brahmana should do by wearing the thread, he does nothing. Nothing, but he will keep on telling, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Brahmin. But he won't do Sandhya Vandana, he doesn't have not Adhyanam means study of Vedas won't be there, he doesn't have any basic understanding. Nothing. Brahmana means Brahma, Chayate iti Brahmana. One who knows Brahman. That person is called Brahmana. But everyone will say, I am Brahmana because I am wearing the thread. Lingam eva ashram kyatha anyonyapati karanam panditya chapalam vachaha. The man's spiritual position will be ascertained merely according to the external symbols. He is very great devotee, he is Swamiji, he is sannyasi. How? Because he'll have external appearance will be like that. External appearance, he'll have a long hair or a short hair, whatever he follows, and a big mark on his forehead, and he'll have big chains, and then whatever the dress he is wearing, sometimes he may carry a tiger skin, kamandalu, all those. Yes, external things makes a person to be saintly or great person, right? Now those people are coming here to check class. You have a question? So far clear? Everything? Okay. So according to the external symbol, and on the same basis, people keep changing their spiritual orders also. Spiritual order means whatever the order they are in Grahastha, sannyasi will suddenly get married. Whenever he wants to get married, sannyasi should never get married. He will get married. And this one form into that one, suddenly keeps changing the orders of their life. That's not nice either. And the person's properties will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living. And one will very clever, one is considered, this is a nice one, Panditya Chapalam Vachaha. You're considered to be Panditji. You consider to be a learned person. If you know how to juggle with words, jugglery words, you can just change and how to use nice words and sentences, then you are Panditji. That you consider to be a scholarly person. Next, the person will be judged unholy if he does not have money. You don't have money, you are not a saintly person, you are not a holy person. You are not a holy person. Therefore, even says sannyasis are very much into making money nowadays. What is it? Sadatva dhamba evatu. Dhamba evatu. Svikara eva chadvahe. Snanam eva prasadhanam. So marriage will be arranged simply by verbal agreement. They want, hey, you like the qualification of getting married is, nowadays we can't even say this one, but qualification of getting married is you are male, you are a female, that's enough. There's no need of checking anything. I know now we are in a higher, much more in a higher level now, beyond men and
it'll probably come later.
It'll come later, yeah, I know. So there's no question of men or women now, anything. It doesn't matter which gender you fall into. As long as you have a desire of wanting to get married, you can get married. There's no need of checking your horoscope or checking which gotra you belong to or which all those different things. None of those things are needed. Just you want to marry, you just simply marry. That's all it's needed. A person will think if he is fit to appear in public, if he has merely taken a bath. Huh? This one says that the real cleanliness should be there, internally, externally. But just by taking shower, he feels that he is ready to appear and give a big classes. Dhure vare ayanam tirtam lavanyam kesha dharanam. This is beautiful. Lavanyam kesha dharanam. Udaram bharata swartaha atyatve darshatyam evahi dakshyam kutumbam bharanam yasho arte dharma sevanam. So, dhure vare ayanam tirtam. Any reservoir of water you find, you think that you consider that to be a holy water. You're lazy to buy a ticket and go to Ganges. So it doesn't, why you want to go to India to do, here you go, this water is there. You can just Gange Yamune Chava, Godavari, Narmade, Sindhu Kaveri, Jale, Asmi, Sani, chant the mantra, this will become, this just to get an escape. They consider all those things. And how a person's beauty is considered, Lavadin Kesha Dharan. How a person is considered handsome or a lady is considered beautiful. You know, what makes someone look handsome or beautiful? Makeup is one thing. Naturally, what makes in the body? Which part makes a person beautiful? Yeah. Not heart. You're too deep. Hair. Hair, right? You spend a lot of time combing your hair, right? Yeah. So hair is considered to be the beauty. Therefore, devotees usually try to keep short hairs and shikha. Beauty will be thought to be dependent on one's hairstyle. And then Udharam Bharata Swartam, filling the belly will become the goal of life. Today morning, Bhupal Prabhu was giving a class. What is the highest goal of life? Right? So yes, Udharam Bharata Swartam. We should tell the answer. This is the answer. In Kali Yuga, filling the belly is goal of life. Goal of life. Tatyatve dhartyam evahi. And one who's audacious means it doesn't matter whether you have a truth on your side or not. If you scream and speak loudly, then you will win the case. Matter. You just have to scream and talk. That's it. Audible. Just scream. And then the other person can't scream, you'll just mellow down. Therefore, you will win the thing. That's how in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, the religion is simply followed for the sake of reputation. Yasho Arte Dharma Sevanam. Seva. I'm doing seva. Why are you doing seva, Prabhu? You will internally have an idea. Why? Have a reputation. So people will start thinking great about this one. Therefore, I'm coming to the temple and doing some seva. For that reason, I'm doing seva. So that's next 7th. Yevam Prajabir Dushtabir. And as the earth has become crowded with corrupted population, whoever among any of the social classes shows himself to be the strongest will gain political power. That means you need to have money, you need to have network, people, power, then you're done, you're successful in your life. And then famine, excess taxes, people will start eating. This is the future. We have not started that yet. Now going down further, 2023, what's going to happen down the line is people will be taxed more. Now only we feel so much. They will be taxed more, and there'll be famine, and they will start eating leaves, roots, and flesh, wild honeys, fruits, flowers, because they won't have food anymore. Yeah. So all those things will happen, and they will suffer with cold, wind, heat, snow, and they will start fighting, quarrel because of hunger, thirst, disease, and severe anxiety. And then another point is Trimshat Vimshati Varshani. Trimshat means 30, Vimshati means 20. 30 plus 20 is 30 plus 20, 50. People will live for 50 years down. 50 years means you're old man. Already you're old man. Now, how we start seeing an 80 plus person as an old person, in 50 only we will compare that down. In 50 only we'll start and he is an old man. Maximum duration will be 50 in that time. Then he goes a number of slokas here from 12 to 16. Kshiyamaneshu deheshu dehinam kali doshataha varnashramavattam dharme naste veda pate nranam pasanda prachura dharme dasyu prayeshu rajeshu chauryantra vritta himsa nana vritteshu vai nrishu shudra prayeshu varneshu chaga prayeshu deneshu draga prayeshu ashrameshu yauna prayeshu bandeshu anuprayeshu odeshu shame prayeshu stasneshu vidyat prayeshu megeshu shunya prayeshu sadmashu ittam kalo gata praye janashe kala kara janashu kara dharmeshu. Dharmatrayana tatvena Bhagavan avatarishyati. By the time the age of Kali ends, the bodies of all creatures will be greatly reduced in size. They will all reduce in size. And the religious principles of followers of Varnashrama will be gone. No Varnashrama system will be there. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, not everything will be mixed anyway. All mixed. So it's all being gone. The path of the Vedas will be completely forgotten. Vedas means, what is Veda? What does that mean? I don't know. And so-called religion will be, yesterday, myself and Rukmini was, before yesterday, we were watching a nice short movie of some devotee couple in Vrindavan. They have a channel called Bhakti Today. It's really nice. They really make small dramas. Very nice. And the wife gets up in the morning and she sees her husband. They are devotees, by the way. But the wife gets up in the morning, having tilak and everything. She comes and looks at her husband. The husband was totally different. No tilak, he was having some jeans pant and hooded jacket and all those things. He's coming. Hey, dude, his language was totally different. She got shocked. Prabhu, what are you talking? It's time for Mangalarti. Mangalarti? What is Mangalarti? So they have a conversation. She get confused. She went to the puja room. In the puja room, she see a 51-inch monitor TV and speakers and everything where the deities are missing. She calls her husband, Prabhu, where are our deities? Deities? What is deities? Husband says, what happened to you? Why have you put the TVs here? Where are my deities? She starts crying now. Are you gone crazy? Okay, let's go to ISKCON. What is ISKCON? It's quite interesting, right? And then she says something happened to her husband. She comes outside, and then she calls the rickshawala. Rickshawala comes. He says, where do you want to go? Take me to the ISKCON temple. He says, ISKCON temple? Nothing. Where is it? I don't know what ISKCON temple. And she says something, take to that place, and he goes there. And the temple is missing. Some big business unit is there. And she totally got confused. And she comes home and she starts crying and crying without what happens without ISKCON, what happens without Prabhupada's books, what happens without devotees association, what happens without prasadam. She keeps crying and crying and she faints and goes to sleep. Yeah, you want to say something?
And also, she also called her sister.
Yeah, she calls her sister, and sister also speaks the same thing. What are you talking? What is ISKCON? What is this? Some things like that. Anyway, and then someone comes and wakes her up. And she gets up, and her husband was in dhoti, kurta, and everything. It was a dream she had. It's really nice. The way that they have done is, what will happen if there's no devotees association, no temple, no reading of scriptures? What will happen? This is really nice. So that's exactly what is going to happen down the line anyway. So the kings will mostly be thieves. The occupations of men will be stealing, lying, and needless violence. And all the social classes will be reduced to the lowest level of Shudra. Cows will be like goats. Spiritual hermitages will be no different from mundane houses. Ashrama will be like another clubhouse or something like that. The family ties will extend to no further than immediate bonds of marriage. That means, in other words, they won't care about anyone else. At least they care for that whomever they're living with. That's all. But that's also will change anyway as we go through this slokas further down. Now, Charachara Guru Vishnu, then he says that Lord Vishnu, the supreme person of this sloka number 17, the spiritual master of all moving and non-moving living beings, and the supreme soul of all, takes birth to protect the principles of religion and to relieve his saintly devotees from the reactions of material world. Now, when the Kali Yuga is progressing so badly, so aggressively, at that time the Lord wants to protect the dharma, religion. Whenever the religion descends, dharma descends, the Lord appears. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsapanarthaya sambhamami yuge yuge, as Krishna says. Therefore, the Lord decides, I need to descend now at that point. And what happened? Shambhala grama mukyasya brahmanasya mahatmanaha bhavane Vishnu yassaha kalkihi pradur bhavishyati. Guess who appeared? Kalki. How do you know?
Because in the shloka I said
Very good. You're hearing the sloka attentively. That means good. Kalkihi, the Lord Kalki appears in the home of the most eminent Brahmana of Shambhala village, the great soul Vishnu Yasha. Yasha. And then the Lord appears, and the further details given how he start. It's on a horse, and then with a sword, it travels around different places and then kills off those miscreants, the kings who are dressed up, the thieves who are dressed up like kings. That's what he does as he travels different places. And then the Lord has appeared on the earth as Kalki, the maintainer of religion. At that point of time, when these things get closer, then Kali Yuga ends. What starts next after Kali Yuga? Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga is begins. Yada Vartinarto Bhagavan Kalkir Dharmapati Hari 23 sloka Kritam Bhavishyati Tada Prajasutischa Satviki. When the Supreme Lord has appeared on earth as Kalki, the maintainer of religion, Satya Yuga will begin. And human society will bring forth progeny in the mode of goodness. Now, everything will, like a reset, things will happen Satvika, in mode of goodness.
so after Kalki
No, Pralaya will not happen at that time. Because Brahma is not going to sleep at that time. Right? Brahma life is not ended. Therefore, that is not Pralaya time. Pralaya will talk when we go to the one special chapter it's been there given. We'll talk about it. Okay? Pralaya will not happen. It is a smooth migration from this yuga to another yuga.
It's just like when Lord Krishna moves, passes, then the Kali Yuga starts.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a smooth transition.
Yeah, too smooth transition. Yes, exactly. Like how the summer, now that summer starts from the, what is it, spring? It's a smooth transition. We see the changes, right? Though, like that it happens.
and but the next in Satya Yuga if someone survives the next then like Satya Yuga is start over again.
No, whoever good people left out in Kali Yuga, they will continue. They will continue. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now after saying this, Shukadeva Goswami in the 25th sloka says, Ye atita vartamane ye bhavishyanti cha parthivaha. Parthivaha means, Parthiva means is calling Parikshit Maharaj. Teta uddeshataha prokta vamshiyaha soma suryaha. Thus I have described, is concluding, is wrapping up. Thus I have described all the kings, past, present, and future, who belong to the dynasties of both the sun and moon. From your birth up to the coronation of King Nanda. This Nanda is not Nanda Maharaj. It's a different Nanda. Okay, now then we'll move on here. 29th sloka. Vishnur Bhavato Bhanuhu Krishnakya Aso Divam Gataha Tada Vishate Kalir Lokam Papeyat Ramate Janaha. The Supreme Lord Vishnu is brilliant like the sun and is known as Krishna. When he returned to the spiritual sky, Kali entered this world, and people then began to take pleasure in sinful activities. Sinful activities. As long as Krishna was there, it doesn't mean that when Krishna was there, everything was perfect. We know, we heard that there are bad people, but the percentage was comparatively less. But then as Krishna left, that percentage increased. Yavat sapada padmanabhayam sprisham aste rama patihi tavat kalervai prithvim parakritatum na cha shakat. As long as Lord Sri Krishna, the husband of the goddess of fortune, touched the earth with his lotus feet, Kali was powerless to subdue this planet. Now that Krishna has left, he has taken over this earth. Those who scientifically understand the past declare that on the very day Lord Krishna departed for the spiritual world, the influence of age Kali began. This is 634. Next. Divyabdhanam Sahasrante Chaturte tu Punakritam Bhavishyati Tada Nrinam Mana Atma Prakashakam. After the 1000 celestial years of Kali Yuga, the Satya Yuga will manifest again. At that time, the minds of all men will become self-effulgent. They'll be proper in Satya Yuga. There again he says this, I have described the royal dynasty of Manu as it is known on this earth. One can similarly study the history of Vaishyas, Shudra, Brahmana living in the various ages. These personalities who were great souls are now known only by their names. They exist only in account from the past, and only their fame remains on the earth. That means what? Whoever considered to be great, they don't live anymore. They're all gone. They're only in the history. They're all gone. You won't find them in this earth again. At the end of the Kali Yuga, the cycle of 4 age, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali continues perpetually among living beings on this earth, repeating the same general sequence of events. Kritam Trita, Dwaparam cha, Kalischita, Chaturyugam, Anena Krama Yogena, Bhuvi Praneshu Vartate. So this cycle goes on repeatedly. Many events keeps repeating as it goes. My dear King Parikshit, all these kings I have described, as well as all other human beings, come to this earth and stake their claims, but ultimately they all must give up this world and meet their destruction. Because many kings came here, wanted to control all the countries. They want to become the one king of everything. But then they all got destroyed. Even Krimi with Bhasma, this is really nice. Krimi with Bhasma, text number 41. Krimi with Bhasma Samyate Raja Namno Api Yasyacha Bhuta Drik Tat Krite Swartam Kim Veda Naryam Yataha. Even though a person's body may now have the designation king, in the end, its name will be worms, stools, and ashes. Why, Rukmini, can you tell? What does it mean? If someone is called, this person is a king, right? When the king dies, his name is no more king, but you can call him as a worms, ashes, or some dirt. Why?
It's considered a bad thing.
No. Whether a person good a bad thing or a good thing, it's the same thing for them at the end. At the end, what will happen to the body? It will become eaten by your worms. Eaten by your worms. It become an ash. If you're going to burn it, it's going to become ash. Right? If you throw it into some religion, they, I think it's Parshis. They throw that body into the place where the vulture and birds comes and eats. They become the food for the birds. Right? So even they have all this name. At the end, they are nothing but worms, stool, and ashes. What kind of person, what kind of person who injures other living beings for the sake of his body know about this, his own self-interest, since his activities are simply leading him to hell? The materialistic king thinks. This is exactly from chapter in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, where the demonic and divine explain, right? How the demonic people think. And that's few glimpses been given in this book. Katam Sayam Akandha Bhuha Bhurve me Purusha Ritha Mat Putrasya Cha Pautrasya Mat Purva Vamsa Jasya Va. The king thinks, this unbounded earth was held by my predecessors and is now under my sovereignty. How can I arrange for it to remain in the hands of my sons, grandsons, and other descendants? They want to retain all those things. They think they're going to live forever and rule. Because they had money, they think they can do everything. Although the foolish accept the body made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, me, and this earth as mine, in every case, they have ultimately abandoned both their body and the earth and passed away in oblivion. They're gone. How much ever we do when we die, everything will be gone, correct? So that is the important point has been said here. And the end of the last sloka, 44, ye bhu patayo rajan bhunjate bhuvam ojasa kalena te krita sarve kata matraha kata sucha. My dear King Parikshit, all these kings who tried to enjoy the earth by their strength were reduced by the force of time to nothing more than historical accounts. Can you tell someone who's great in the history, in the past, who's not now? Rukmini? Anyone name? Any name that you studied in school or something. Any person. He's still there. Barack Obama. Okay, Obama is there, right? He's still alive. Martin Luther King is a good example. He was nice. Where is he now? In the books. We celebrate his day and we talk about him. That's all. He's no more, right? That's what is going to happen to all of us at one point. Everyone will be gone. Chapter 3, Bhumi Gita. Are you ready? Can we move on? Okay. Now, Sukadev Goswami says that seeing the kings of this earth busy trying to conquer the earth herself laughed. The earth started laughing. She said, just see how these kings who are actually play things in the hands of death are desiring to conquer me. Anyone who takes birth, anyone who has power, they want to take over the earth. Therefore, Mother Earth is laughing at these people and saying that, look at these guys. They are simply playing in the hands of death. Yama, in the hands of death. They're just thinking they're going to conquer me, they can take over me. But I've seen hundreds and thousands of people like this, they come and go. No one can do anything. Kama yesha narendrana moha syat vidusam api yena peropame pinde yete vishrambita nripaha. Great rulers of men, even those who are learned, meet frustration and failure because of material lust. Driven by lust, these kings place great hope and faith in the dead lump of flesh called the body, even though the material frame is as fleeting as bubbles of foam on water. Do you understand anything from this, Rukmini? I'll repeat this. Tell me what you understood. Great rulers of men, even those who are learned, meet frustration and failure because of material lust. Driven by lust, lust means a desire. Think that way, okay? These kings place great hope and faith in the deep lump of flesh called body, even though the material frame is as fleeting as bubbles of foam on water. You place a you know the foam? What is foam? Bubbles in a soapy thing, right? Bubble. How long does it stay? Wherever it is, how long does it stay? That bubbles. You girls, children play this, right? What is it? Dipper thing, soap. You do like that. The bubble comes. How long does the bubble stay? That what the point is. The great people, what they think they can rule over the earth, but they don't know what they have. They have this body, and the body is like that bubble. What does it mean? Huh? Fragile. Yes. Yeah. It's going to go away very time, right? Anyone can die anytime. Kings and the politician imagine, first I will conquer my senses and mind. Then I will subdue my chief minister and rid myself of the thorn pricking of my advisors, citizens, friends, and relatives. I'm going to move on here. So this number of slokas talks about how Mother Earth is laughing at these people and how they think foolishly is what's been said in number of these slokas. All right. She goes, here's another nice sloka, the 7th sloka, not 7th, in the 6th sloka. Although in the past great men and their descendants have left me, departing from this world in the same helpless way, they come into it. Not this one, next one. For the sake of conquering me, the materialistic persons fight one another. Fathers oppose their sons, and the brothers fight one another because their hearts are bound to possessing political power. Political power. Political leaders challenges one another. All this land is mine. It's not yours, you fool. Thus, they attack one another and die. Now, in the 9th through 13th sloka, Sukadeva Goswami gives some names here to make us understand some of the king's names here. Tinabindu, Yayatischa, Saryatas, Shantanu, Gayaha, Bahiratas, Kakutsa, Nriga, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Loka Ravanaha, Namuchi, Shambhara, and Hiranyakashipu. It just goes on with all the different names here. We can read the translation. Can someone please read in the online here? Can read this if you are having the book by any chance? 9 through 13th translation for me, please. Chapter 3, if you have it handy. If not, I can read.
I can read.
You can read, please. From you.
Such kings as Prathu, Pururva, Gadi, Nahusa, Bharata, Kartavira, Arjuna, Mandhata, Sagara, Rama,
Rama here is Parasurama, by the way.
Katvanga, Dundua, Raghu, Tirna Bindu, Yayati, Saryati, Shantanu, Gaya, Bahira, Kavalayasha, Kukutstha, Naishada, Nirga, Hanyakashipu, Vritra, Ravana, and who made the whole world lament, Namuchi, Sambara, Bahuma, Hirnyaksha, Taraka, as well as many other demons and kings who possessed great powers of control over others, were all full of knowledge, heroic, all-conquering and unconquerable. Nevertheless, O Almighty Lord, although they lived their lives intensely trying to possess me, these kings were subject to the passage of time, which reduced them all to mere historical accounts. None of them actually could permanently establish their rule.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Sukadeva Goswami, as giving all this list, he says that Parikshit, I have related everything to you. I narrated everything to you, all about the great kings and different types of kings. My real purpose was to teach transcendental knowledge and renunciation. Stories of kings lend power and opulence to these narrations, but do not in themselves constitute the ultimate aspect of knowledge. I've told so many stories to you about many kings, but understand the ultimate knowledge is something you need to know. That is, the person who desires pure devotional service to Lord Krishna should hear the narration of Lord Uttama Sloka, glorious qualities, constantly chanting of which, the constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotees should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies and should also continue his hearing throughout the day. And then she goes, now the topic, the ball is given to Parishit Maharaj. In the 16th sloka, Parishit Maharaj is asking, Sri Raja Uvacha, Keno Payena Bhagavan, Keno Payena Laguna, this comes, similar word comes in Vishnu Sahasranama. Keno Payena Bhagavan, Kale Doshan Kalo Janaha. Vidamishyanti Upachittam, Tanme Bruhi Yata Mune. Now he is asking a question. Parishit Maharaj is asking a question. My Lord, how can person living in the age of Kali rid themselves of the culminative contamination of this age? O great sage, please explain this to me. Please explain the different ages of universal history, the special qualities of each age, the duration of cosmic maintenance and destruction, and the movement of time, which is the direct representation of the Supreme Lord, Supreme Soul, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. These are the questions he's asking now. Please tell me what to do now in the age of Kali. He doesn't need to ask this question, by the way.
Yeah.
He is guaranteed he's going to go back to Krishna, but he's asking just for the Kali is coming, understanding what's the danger for Kali Yuga people, he's asking just for our sake. Sukadeva Goswami in the 18th sloka says that Krite pravartate dharmas chataspa tat jnana janair dritaha tatyam daya tapodhanam iti pada vibhur nipa. Now he says there are dangerous things, 4 things. If you can avoid that 4 things, chant the name. I'm just summarizing this thing. There are 4 things you need to avoid and 1 thing you need to follow. 4 things that if you avoid, 1 thing you follow, guaranteed you will go back to Godhead. This is for the age of Kali. Satyam daya tapathanam tapodhanam iti pada vibhur nipa. He says the dharma is standing. This is not new to all of us. We already went through this one, so it's going to be easy to move for us. In the beginning, during Satya Yuga, the age dharma had 4 legs. Do you know the dharma in the form of a bull had 4 legs? Right? They had 4 legs. Any other kids are in the online by any chance? I guess no. Okay.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Any kids are there? Is Diksha there?
Diksha, not here, Prabhu. She
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she is here now, Prabhu.
Okay. It's been a long time. I saw all these kids on our thing. We are wrapping up Bhagavatham. Maybe they can come to conclude this Bhagavatham session.
Yes.
All right. So Dharma is standing on 4 legs. 4 legs. Satya, Satyam, Daya, Tapo, Dhanam. How are you, Diksha?
Hi, Prabhuji.
Very good. Okay, just stay there. Okay, I'll call you again. So Satya Yuga, the age of truth, religion. Okay. The age of truth, religion is present with 4. Problem with my laptop. Religion is present with all 4 of its legs intact, and is carefully maintained by the people of that age. These 4 legs are powerful: religion or truthfulness, mercy, austerity, and charity. These are the 4 legs. So question for you all, Rukmini and Diksha, please remember, Dharma stands in 4 legs. What are the 4 legs? Truthfulness, mercy, austerity, charity. Remember this, okay? I'll ask sometime later. The people of Satya Yuga are, for the most part, self-satisfied, merciful, friendly to all, peaceful, sober, and tolerant. They take their pleasure from within, see all things equally, and always endeavor diligently for spiritual perfection. So he speaks about in Satya Yuga how the people are. In Trayata Yuga, you can see it's going to degrade. Quarter of everything is cut off now. Okay. In Trayata Yuga, each leg of religion is gradually reduced by 1/4 by the influence of the 4 pillars of religion. What are the 4 pillars of Dharma? Diksha, you tell me 4.
Charity, truthfulness, austerities, and
Mercy. Very good. You both did very good job. Thank you. Thank you. Now in the Satya Yuga, 4 legs were full. In the Trayata Yuga, next Yuga, Trayata Yuga, everything quarter got cut. 1/4 got cut in next Yuga. Okay. And let's see what this in Trayata Yuga, each leg of religion is gradually reduced by 1/4 by the influence of the 4 pillars of religion: lying, violence, dissatisfaction, and quarrel. And he goes on explaining that in that Yuga, and we're going to move on. In Dwapara Yuga, the religious qualities of austerity, truthfulness, mercy, and charity are reduced to 1/2 by their irreligious counterpart. Therefore, dissatisfaction, untruth, violence, and enmity increased. And that goes on. And now let's see for Kali Yuga. So in Satya Yuga, the leg was full. Trayata Yuga, everything got cut by 1/4. Okay, that only 75% there. And in Dwapara Yuga, half of thing got cut. Only half is left. Okay. And in Kali Yuga, another quarter has been cut. All right. So in the age of Kali, only 1/4 of the religious principles remains. That last remnant will continuously be decreased by the ever increasing principles. Excuse me. Sorry. The lost remnant will continuously be decreased by the ever increasing principles of their religion and will finally be destroyed. In the Kali age, people tend to be greedy, ill-behaved, and merciless, and they fight one another without good reason. Unfortunate and obsessed with material desires, the people of Kali Yuga are almost all Sudras and barbarians. The material mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, whose permutations are observed within a person's mind or set into motion by the power of time. When the mind, intelligence, and senses solidly fixed in the mode of goodness, that time should be understood. Now he's giving how the these 4 yugas, how this 3 modes influences the people. So we'll just move on further. You all well know about these things. But one point is, when there is a predominance, this is Sloka 30, of cheating, lying, sloth, sleepiness, violence, depression, lamentation, bewilderment, fear, and poverty, then which yuga is that, Rukmini? Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga. Do you agree, Diksha? In Kali Yuga, have you experienced in Kali Yuga these things I'm going to tell now? Cheating, lying, sleepiness, violence, lamentation, depression. I don't know if you know some of these words. Bewilderment, fear, poverty. Do you understand all these words?
Except for poverty.
Poverty means, people doesn't have food to eat, no money to buy anything, right? Poor. So in Kali Yuga means we are in which yuga?
Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga. Do you think these things are happening now?
Yes.
Yeah. Diksha confirmed. So we have to understand now we are in Kali Yuga. Let's not think we are in Satya Yuga. Okay. Okay. Next on that, Sway. Next he goes on saying that in 31. Because of, listen everyone, because of the bad qualities of the age of Kali, human beings will become short-sighted. What does it short-sighted means? Yes. You have to start wearing glasses. Or they can only see short distance. Okay. Okay. Anyone? Okay. No kids. Do you know what short-sighted that has been referred here?
Prabji, I would say like what it means by short-sighted in Kali Yuga means like they can't see like the good in others.
Good in others. Okay, that's also nice. Very good answer. Very nice. Short-sighted, and let me tell, short-sighted means they don't think on the long term. Long term. They only want to be happy now. Whatever will make them happy now, that is what they will be interested in. If the parents comes and tells, Diksha, come on, if you eat too much of candies, if you eat too much of ice cream, you won't be able to sing nicely, you won't be able to become a nice singer. So please don't do that one. And you're going to tell your mom, what, come on, now I can enjoy the ice cream. Now I can eat all the sugary things. Why are you worried about future after 10 years, whether I'm going to be a singer or not singer, right? That's called short-sighted, right? They don't think about the long term. Unfortunate. We are unfortunate. How we are unfortunate people in Kali Yuga? Can you tell me? Even those people who are interested to come to Bhagavad Gita class, Bhagavatam class, when they get ready, some phone call will come, will make them stop going to Bhagavad Gita class, Bhagavatam class. Very unfortunate. Even if you have a desire, sometimes things works differently than our choice, our wish. Very unfortunate. Lustful, poverty-stricken, the women become unchaste, will freely wander from one man to the next. We don't even have to talk about this. We read news and we hear a lot of such things happening, right? Women must be chaste, very truthful, right? Whomever they are married to, they have to be very truthful. And then if not, then it's different. And we can see that's happening here. Again, it's even though it said women, we should understand, please don't ask me a question at the end of the class, why only women has to be chaste? Why can't be men? It applies to both. Men has to be chaste, women has to be chaste. Otherwise, it's not good for the family life. Okay, let's moving on into further. And now he goes into the brahmacharis and vanaprasthas. Quite interesting, really interesting. Brahmacharis will be brahmacharis for the sake of called to be brahmachari. But in the room, they'll go and watch YouTube's movies. They will do all sort of things. That's a brahmachari life they will do. They will not keep up any promises. Householders will become a beggars. This begging is different from the brahmanas begging that we saw, by the way. Do not get confused. Vanaprasthas are supposed to live in the forest, but these vanaprasthas, in the name of vanaprastha, they will be in the city, happily with the families. Sannyasis will become greedy of wealth. Richest sannyasi. Sannyasi nowadays are rich man. The certain areas where we can make money easily. You have to get into become a politician. You open an ashram or a temple to make money, and or obviously you make movies and all those things. And the fourth thing is that alcohol, liquor shop. If you want to make money, these are the best way. And if you want to have reputation, fame, name, and also want to make money, become a sannyasi. That's how I'm telling. Sukadeva Goswami, that does not mean all the sannyasis are like this. We know what it means, and we can easily identify who are those sannyasis that Sukadeva Goswami is referring here. So let's not make offenses to real good sannyasis. Now he goes on saying the women will become much smaller in size and they will eat too much. How? Ashok Prabhu is laughing here.
I can believe it's in Bhagavatam.
This is Bhagavatam. I can read the slokas for you, so your ears can be purified. Rishva Kaya Mahahara Bhuri Apatya Gata Hriya Saswat Katuka Pasinyas Chaurya Mayuru Sahasaha. So that's the sloka, and the translation goes, women will become much smaller in size and they will eat too much, have more children than they can properly take care of. This is down the line. Now we are the tradition where we don't want to have children or having only one kid. We must be, what is he talking about? Doesn't make sense. Now the scale is like that. But down, when the Kali Yuga progresses, they want mind-producing children, but they don't take care of any of those children they produce. And loss of shyness. They will always speak harshly and will exhibit qualities of thievery, deceit, and unrestrained audacity. That means they will scream. You may ask why these are not meant for men. Men are always audacity. They have audacity. They don't have shyness. They are deceitful. It's all known with men. But women are not like that. Women are meant to have a high quality. Therefore, that will be lost. That's why women are mentioned here. Men are known for doing all sort of these things anyway. Men eats more anyway than the women, right? So, thank you, Ashok Prabhu, to make it lively. Businessman will engage in petty commerce and earn their money by cheating. We already saw this. We'll move on to the next one. Now, next one, 36 sloka. Servants will abandon a master who lost his wealth, even if that master is a saintly person of exemplary character. Masters will abandon an incapacitated servant. or what is it?
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated servant. Even if that servant has been in the family for generations, cow will be abandoned or killed when they stop giving milk. We know that.
Our characters, yes.
Huh?
Our characters.
Or characters, yes, exactly. Another few more slokas and we can end with this chapter. If you can't, please, we still have time. 10 minutes, 11 minutes. The Kali Yuga men will be richer and controlled by women. They will reject their father, brother, and relatives and friends and will instead associate with the sisters and brothers of their wives. I heard some stories on this also, by the way. So I'm not going to get into those stories, but there are already started happening. Rather than spending time with his wife, this guy will go and spend more time with his wife's sister. And likewise, the wife, rather than spending time with her husband, she will go and spend time with the husband's brother and so forth. So those are the things happening now, by the way. Uncultured men will accept charity on behalf of the Lord and will earn their livelihood by making a show of austerity and wearing a mendicant's dress. Those who know nothing about religion will mount a high seat and presume to speak on religious principles. They give sit on a Vyasasana and start giving big classes. Even though they don't follow any religious principles, they don't know anything, they will do these things. In Kali Yuga, people's mind will always be agitated, always be agitated. They will become emancipated by famine and taxation, by my dear king, and will always be disturbed by fear of drought. They will lack adequate clothing, food, and drink, will be unable to properly rest, have sex, or bathe themselves, and will have no ornaments to decorate their bodies. In fact, the people of Kali Yuga will gradually come to appear like a ghostly, haunted creatures. We are laughing, but our future generation has to go through this one, unfortunately. In Kali Yuga, men will develop hatred for each other, even over a few coins. Just for a few coins, people will fight and hate each other. Giving up all friendly relationship, they will be ready to lose their own lives and kill even their own relatives. Men,
Just for a few coins.
Just for a few coins, they can even kill their own relatives. That means money becomes important. Okay, not relations.
Prabhu, are you reading translation or?
Yeah, I'm reading the translation now. That I'm on the 42nd sloka.
Okay, Prabhu.
You thought I am so fluently speaking all those things?
No, in the purport, translation means the original sloka. So,
the translation of the original sloka.
This is the translation of the original sloka.
Okay, Prabhu.
Not purport. Yeah. Interesting, right? Kali Yuga.
Yes, Prabhu. Every day I'm saying all those things. I
know you shared so many stories with me. So yeah. So in the age of Kali, people intelligence will be diverted by atheism. That means they don't believe in God, they won't believe in Vedas. Atheism will be prominent, and they will almost never offer sacrifice to the Supreme Lord, who is the supreme spiritual master of the universe. Okay, I'm going to move on. 44 sloka. Now it's just getting interesting actually. Terrified about to die. Now just imagine, this man is going to die. Terrified about to die, a man collapses on his bed. He's going to die. He knows he's going to die. He collapses on the bed. Although his voice is faltering and he's hardly conscious of what he's saying, if he utters the holy name of the Supreme Lord, he can just imagine, I'm coughing so much, right? At the end of the life goes, we may be a great devotee, we may be chanted or something. At the end of life, what is the guarantee? King Kulakashekara says, my voice is proper now. all the limbs are working fine now. Let me surrender now at your lotus feet. When I'm getting old, the kapha, vada, pitta will torture me. My voice will choke up like I'm coughing. Where I'm going to chant. Where am I going to chant the name of Krishna if I'm going to continuously cough like this? It's not possible, right? A lively example. I'm giving you lively examples of this class. So do not wait and get into the mode of coughing and all those things. Let's do as much as possible as we can now. So let me read this one. Terrified about to die, a man collapses on his bed. Although his voice is faltering and he's hardly conscious of what he's saying, if he utters the holy name of the Supreme Lord, he can be freed from the reactions of his, that is, he will be freed from all the karmas and he will attain the supreme destination. Let me ask, Diksha, so the question is, can we not chant now? We can chant Krishna. It is said here, when we chant Krishna's name, we can go back to Krishna. Okay. Now, that is only when we are going to die, we can chant and go back to Krishna. Why we have to chant now? Better don't waste time chanting now. Whenever we are going to die, at that time we can say Keshava, Narayana, Hare Krishna, and die and go back to Krishna, correct?
Why we should chant like before our death is because I think because it's the best option, because then you would be surrendered to Krishna, and when you die, and if you haven't said his name before you die, but you did surrender to him, you have a likely chance that you might go to Godhead.
Nice, Diksha. Thank you so much. Very nice. Thank you. Good job. And Rukmini, you have something to say? Come here and say. Stand here.
Also know, you don't know what situation you'll be in when you're dying, because you might not be able to talk when you're dying, you don't know,
Like your father.
you don't know what type of situation, you don't know what type of situation you will be in.
Yeah, so what she's saying is, you don't know what situation you will be in when you're at the time of death, so you can't take a chance. You better start chanting now. Okay, so that's text number 44. In the Kali Yuga, objects, places, and even individual personalities are all polluted. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, however, can remove all such contamination from the life of one who fixes the Lord within his mind. In Kali Yuga, everything is contaminated, but if we can fix our mind in lotus feet of Krishna, then all our contamination will be removed. If a person, please hear, we are coming to a conclusion. We are going to conclude this chapter. If a person hears about, glorifies, meditates upon, worships, or simply offers great respect to the Supreme Lord, who is situated within the heart, the Lord will remove from his mind the contamination accumulated during many thousands of lifetimes. Not you have to do everything. Even one of these things, if we do, we will be saved. Just as fire applied to the gold removes any discoloration caused by traces of other metals, Lord Vishnu within the heart purifies the minds of the yogis. Vidya tapaha pran. I'm going to skip this, reading the slokas. Let's move on. By one's engagement in the process of demigod worship, austerities, breath control, compassion, bathing in holy places, strict vows, charity, and chanting of various mantras, One's mind cannot attain the same absolute purification as that achieved when the unlimited personality of God appears within one's heart. And the last three slokas, which are quite important. I'm going to go to the last two slokas. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti ek mahan gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. This is the 51st sloka. In My Dear King, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Guess what? Kali Yuga is so bad, right? Rukmini, Diksha? Kali Yuga is so very bad. Yeah? We read so much. We have spent almost close to 1.5 2 hours. What is that one good thing in Kali Yuga which makes our life easy and we can go back to Krishna? What is that? Yeah.
Chanting Krishna's name.
Okay. Rukmini is saying chanting Krishna's name. Diksha, what do you say?
Same.
She's saying ditto, saying the same. Yes, so let me finish. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrijet. And the last sloka of this chapter, Kriteye Dhyayato Vishnu Kriteyam Yadato Makaihi Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalota Thari Kirtanat. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and Dwapara Yuga by performing the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With that said, we completed this chapter, and sorry for being a nuisance of coughing and doing things like that. Let's see. So we finished 3 chapters. In the next chapter, we're going to see the 4 categories of, next week, we'll see 4 categories of universal annihilation and the final instruction of Parikshit Maharaj and so forth. It's 12:02, sorry. I'm not sure. If anyone have anything to say, you can take 3 minutes. Any correction, questions, feedback? Anything that you want to share about Kali Yuga? Anyone disagrees to what Sukadeva Goswami says in Kali Yuga?
No disagreement, Prabhuji. It's all true. Thank you so much for wonderfully explaining, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Yes, Rukmini?
I have a comment.
You have a comment? Oh, it's been many months heard all your comments. Go ahead, come and stand here and say.
I like the whole class.
Okay, thank you. Diksha, what's your comment?
Today I learned many stuff, like the 4 legs of Dharma is the most important thing I would have to like remember, I feel like.
Very good. You can start writing some points when you hear lectures. Write some points, okay?
I do.
You do that. You're all advanced. Very good. Okay, if there is nothing else, Nalini Mataji, you're still there with us? You can unmute and say a few words. It's been a long time we heard your singing, your voice. Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe. All right. If there's no other questions, then Hare Krishna, thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.